This is reality TV, y'all.
What's the fam jam up to?
We're good, man.
Yeah.
This is at
Yo,
home. Just...
your phone is like blowing up right now.
Yo, Dad, you're picking up.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Okay. Yo.
So what happened was my phone died. My phone died in...
No, we can tell the truth.
What is this, BET? Can't even pick it up some days. Like, where'd it go?
No, you know what? What really happened is, as a result of Hank being here, we had some like commercial obligations that we had to take care of, so they just pulled the plug out. But it's all good. We're back.
You're watching Caribbean TV.
Where's the beat in the background? The island beat in the background.
You know what's funny about that? I went to Heavy Montreal, which is a heavy metal festival.
What?
And I was invited. It was such a great experience, by the way. And Tech Nine, the rapper, was the only rap act on the show.
Oh, he performed?
Yeah, he performed.
Wow.
But he fit right in that crowd, right?
That's amazing.
Mosh pits everywhere.
Did you get in there?
Yeah, I got in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But not too crazily.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Enough that I was like, okay, this is good. And I got out. And when he was playing a song, I felt so awkward putting my two fingers in the air and say blah 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 at a heavy metal
They just
concert.
stopped the music too.
Yeah,
they're like, what are you doing?
Want to get away?
Yeah, but it was so dope. I don't know if you noticed, Jet, when I put it was a Marilyn Manson concert.
Oh,
And I never thought I would ever be at a Marilyn Manson concert. But this dude is, he's a performer, and everything about him is about his act.
wow.
So if you believe in what he's really saying and what he's doing, he's actually doing his job. He's a true pro. I can't even believe I'm saying all this. But it was a great show.
Did you buy the album?
Yeah, I'm a stan now.
Oh,
I'm
man.
a stan now.
But you know what? Was that the craziest concert you've ever been to?
Oh, good segue, Jet.
Oh.
It was not actually, but it was great. Just seeing the amount of people there, and everybody was slightly older, like 25 and up.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of kids. Older, well.
Oh man.
Well, I went to an EDM concert and everybody was 20 and under.
That's
right?
true.
So everybody there were like tech employees or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is their only release from their regular mundane life, and they just went at it. There wasn't a minute without a mosh pit, and the mosh pits was so huge. It was crazy, and it was at the F1 racetrack.
Oh wow.
Oh, so there was a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of
That's
people.
pretty dope. That's pretty
That'd
dope.
be cool right there.
What was the craziest concert you've ever been to?
For me, let's see. It would have to be probably EDM. Honestly, it would have to be EDM. Went to. Actually, I went and saw Calvin Harris in London, Ontario. And it was while I played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And after we had our rundown, we zoomed down to London. Me and a number of players did. And it seemed like the whole concert happened.
Yeah.
And it's like all I remember is just noise, light, done. That's all I remember right now. Noise, light, done. And I woke up in bed.
Like, did I have a seizure?
Did it just happen? Like, what just happened? It was like one of those moments when you hit rewind. It's just like you see three things:
Yeah, true.
lights, noise, sleep. That's all I remember.
See, you know what? I always say that the best nights of your life are the ones you remember in pieces.
Yeah.
You
I think I actually put one of my teammates on my shoulders. You know how usually guys have girls? I picked up one of my teammates, put him on my shoulder. He's there like, ah. And also one of the guys said, hey, man, guess what's on the back of your head? I was like, oh, get down.
Oh, man. So, viewers, put in the comment section what some of the craziest concerts you have ever been to so that we can share some experiences. I'd say for me was at Blues Fest that year that Wyclef came.
Dude,
It was crazy.
Oh, yeah?
That was crazy.
Well, because it was pouring rain, and it was Wyclef and Akon, and like they didn't even care about their security. They just ran, hopped the fence, and started celebrating
Partying
with the people on the street.
on the
Wow,
street.
that's awesome.
It was crazy.
That's
I was a little
awesome.
bit pissed because I paid for a ticket, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no, you had to be in the crowd to really feel it.
Yes, that's
the
true.
night was so hot and humid.
Yeah.
And when the rain started, it couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it cooled us off, and it was great, man. And it was a great time to be Haitian.
Yeah. on that note, we're talking about music, obviously. What's your song of the week right now? Like, what's a song that right now you're just kind of vibing to, you're feeling, old, new, random?
Well, me, it's kind of an old school remix, but like for me, you can put on any version of "Too Hot" by Kool and the Gang. And honestly, every day I go to work, the one song I turn on while I'm at work, I know I'm up early at 3 in the morning, and I'm there before 5 when we start to air the airport news, and we go live at 6 on CTV Morning Live. Make sure you tune in.
Yeah.
And but we have a good time. But for me, what kind of gets me in the groove is eating my breakfast, going over all my show notes, and listening to Kool and the Gang. But "Too Hot." It's
Nice.
too hot, too hot, too hot, lady. Gotta run for shelter. Gotta run for shade. That's my song. Like I love that song because that was my first concert I ever saw at Six Flags over Texas. That was my mom's favorite group. Her favorite song was Celebration. So every time I hear Kool and the Gang, kind of gets me in a good mood, right? Get you in a good mood, yeah.
You
I
can't think
really-
of Mama and not getting a good mood.
Yeah.
I really don't like the fact that he can sing too.
Oh no, I can't sing. I can't sing. I don't know where that came from.
Oh man, Rob, what's your song of the week?
My song of the week is "One More Chance" by Biggie Smalls.
Okay.
Nice.
First things first, I pop up, freaks all the honeys, dummies, boy bunnies, those wanting money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Biggie.
You know, I thought you were talking about that heavy metal concert. You would have done one more chance.
No.
You were gonna get it right.
You know what? I
No.
would go back. I would definitely
What?
go back. Yeah,
Wow,
it was
that's
great.
Just for an experience.
Yeah, it was a
That's
great
cool.
experience.
That's what his life is all about.
That's
That
cool.
was
That's cool.
like "One More Chance" is the first song I ever learned the lyrics to, but because I grew up French,
Yeah.
I didn't understand a thing they were
Yeah.
saying, but I remember the sounds of it.
Yeah.
It's only later on when I
Yeah.
got kids, I'm like, whoa.
Oh, stop.
Yo.
Hey, kids, how's it going?
I couldn't believe how nasty that was, man.
Oh, man, that's
man.
jokes, man. And right now I'm vibing to Travis Scott's new album, Astro Boy.
They're
Astro World.
promoting that.
Astro World.
They're promoting that like crazy.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. And he has a song called "Wake Up" on it. It's pretty dope. It's
How's
pretty
it
dope.
go? Everybody sang.
There's no singing on
Wake up. What's Wake Up about?
it. This is a family show.
Oh, okay. I love telling him to wake up.
It's just talking about waking up in places that
You're not supposed
are
to.
that are metaphorical.
Oh,
Oh.
gosh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Exactly.
Sponsored
exactly.
by.
Sponsored by. Oh man. So on that note, seeing as we're talking about this stuff,
Did we even start the show yet?
yes, we started.
There's nothing that's been eaten.
Don't worry. It won't, once we start, it's like Pringles. Once you start, it's over, right? So don't worry
So
about
I
it.
see eating's a big part of this thing. Yeah.
So, what's your tip of the week? Like, if you could just think of a tip right now, whether it's you came across some people and you're like, oh, that's a pretty good tip. What would you give as a tip of the week to the people?
Well, for me, so many people let the shade and the smoke in life blind them from the fact of what their true reality is. And I know we have lots of people that deal with mental illness out there, and I just want to say to people, if you can't clear the smoke, you do have reality, which is awesome, because life is a beautiful thing. To me, it's like a portrait in a canvas. Each and every day you take a step, it's one more stroke of that brush.
Yeah.
So continue to paint the portrait in life that you want to paint.
Okay, man, I like that.
Clear that shade, bust through. You can do it. I mean, shoot, we're strong, beautiful people. And custom made. That's why God put us here.
I like that. How about you, Rob?
So that's a really good segue to Miley Swave's new painting, talking about brushstrokes.
This is my nephew who did this.
What?
Yeah. So shout out to Molly Swaves.
Wow.
Shout out Malcolm.
We'll give you guys some information, but soon, very soon, he's gonna be starting a silent auction. He's big
Wow.
on Dragon Ball Z, a lot of this stuff, and he amalgamates it like
With streetwear.
Yeah.
As you could see, Bugs Bunny and Babs are wearing off-white shirts right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
pretty dope. And it took him about a week or two to make it.
Hey, don't give out his business like that.
No,
yo.
he said I could say it.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. So it's just talent.
Wow.
It's just talent. That's
Talent.
all. That's
It's
all,
beautiful.
man.
So my tip is this. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
My tip is nobody really knows anything about anything. We're all acting. We're all pretending to be good or to be bad or whatever. I think we're all trying to figure it out. Nobody has it figured out yet. That's my tip. It's like nobody really knows anything about anything. We're just pretending that we do, and some of us are just better pretenders than others.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say if you're too afraid to do something, you should probably do it. That's my tip of the week.
Where's that from? Why are you saying that? What happened?
Because there's no
It does sound
look,
personal. doesn't it?
nothing happened. The reason I'm saying that is like a lot of times we're hesitant because we're like we're not sure.
Pump
Yeah,
faking.
exactly,
Yeah.
right? And we lose out on so many experiences, so many opportunities.
Like a heavy metal concert.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes you gotta use fear positively. Sometimes it's not always a negative thing. You gotta use it as a form of energy, a form of fuel. You know what I'm saying?
I was always taught that fear is the key to opportunity.
There it is. Whoop, there it is.
One more thing. Sometimes if you don't have AC, just put the fan on.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that complicated. You know?
Yeah.
But
Yo, you know what? This food's been in front of us too long. I think we just jumped to the patty challenge.
okay.
I think that's what we should do. But before we do that, you should share the show on Facebook. Share the show.
Yes.
Okay. Share the show. Click the like button. And this again, our unbiased judge here has never tried either.
Never.
So we will get a genuine response. We are not telling them which one is Haitian, which one is Jamaican. We are just going at it. So click the like button for Hank, and let's see what happens, and let's put this discussion to bed. And then we will get into our topics.
Yeah.
So
I want to shout out the Man Up Show, who originally brought this up a few months ago on their Facebook page.
yeah.
And the Haitian Patties obviously won that contest then.
Ooh.
And I think it's going to be 2-0 after today.
Okay, we'll
Whoa.
see. And before before we move on, Kyle said, "What if you're afraid of getting eaten by alligators?" Because of the whole like, if you're scared of doing something, you should probably just do it.
Yeah, but you know what? How are you going to know if you're really scared of it until you actually go in there and face the alligator?
Then you won't live to tell another day, though.
Unless you had like really quick reflexes that you never knew that you had until that happened.
Fair enough. Okay.
So you guys
All right.
actually entertaining what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't get those minutes of my life back, but that's okay. And Ty Louis, yes, both patties are somewhat homemade because one of them are made homemade, like at a home for sure, by Patties, and the other ones are made at the piggy market, as we mentioned earlier. So they are made, they're not store-bought, they are made, okay? So, you know what? Without further ado, please do the honors.
We do the honors?
Please do
Okay.
the honors. So how about we say you eat half of
Okay.
one,
Okay.
take a drink, cleanse your palate, eat the other half of the other one, and then
and we'll
Then we're good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Start here.
yeah.
So, by the way, Haitian patties were created by angels. Yeah, by angels who cared about humanity and left us a really great gift. And Jamaican patties were created in Brampton somewhere.
See all
Brandon.
And I'm not being biased, by the way.
No.
That's got good spice on it.
Okay. But we don't know which one that is. He's a professional eater, ladies and gentlemen, so we have to give him a minute.
So, for those of you who are listening to the show, he just took a bite out of a patty, and now he's cleansing his palate with some water. and then he's gonna take another bite from
Good flavor.
the other one.
Good flavor in there.
How would you describe the flavor that he just had?
Well, it was good spice. It was beef, so you could taste just a nice combination of different flavors. But I love spice, so it was a good spice, but it wasn't too much spice. It took away from the flavor, so it was a good combination of both.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, it's like you get the spice, and all of a sudden it just goes away.
Okay, so
That was
just
very good.
that little kick, and then
But see, I still taste the flavor. It was that good.
So he's about to take a bite out of the other one, okay?
Okay.
And we will not mention what it is, but you could hear the crunch from the bite, which was really cool. I think you heard it from the other one too, but one is a little bit flakier than the other.
Wow.
So what's going on, Henry?
I think I know where you're going with this. Flakier than the other one.
you see the dilemma. I like this right away that there's a dilemma. Not that it's obvious right away.
Wow.
Well, it's not. It's not. But it's great that they're so similar,
Very
coming
similar.
from two different cultures and backgrounds.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, I can't handle this.
The suspense is killing me.
No, I don't want him to
Wow.
say anything, yo.
Okay. This one here, you could taste more of the meat. This one here, you could taste the meat. There was a lot more pastry involved, a lot thicker. I love the crunch. I love the flavor. I love the flavor of that. But I gotta go with this one here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Can you please pick up the patty that you selected and put it up
Yeah.
for the people to see?
This one was good. This one was good.
Roberto,
Yo,
my
jam
boy
done.
Rob, the jam done.
The jam done. Party done.
Can you please let the people know what kind of patty that is?
This is a Haïtian patty.
Oh goodness! What did I just start?
Hey, hey.
You're so screwed.
What did I just get myself into? This is good though. This is good. But hey, I would still eat this in a heartbeat though.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
I would still
that's
eat this
okay.
in a heartbeat.
How
Yo.
how is it rigged?
Rigged.
Unbiased.
Jamaica takes another L. Oh man.
I would
that's
eat
so
both
sad.
personally, but when it comes to flavor, this one has the meat and the pastry has another layer of flavor to it. That's the reason why I went with this one.
You don't have to justify it to these people.
No, I'm just saying what the difference was because I like both flavors. I
But-
love the spice here, but I love the flavor of both the pastry and the meat.
Oh man.
See, he's
Not as
being
much
very
spice here though.
politically
Not
correct.
as much spice there.
Okay.
Not like this one.
You know what? He actually asked me if I wanted to put spice in it. And I just said, I don't know if you like spice or not.
Oh man, I'm from the South. Man. We love the spice, brother. We love the spice.
Oh, man.
All
This is
jokes
good, though.
aside, I want to quote our Jamaican brethren, Bob Marley, who says, "One love, let's stay together, and everything will be all right."
Exactly. But you know what? At the same time, you did say you would eat both.
I would eat both. Yeah.
Right? So it's all good. So shout out to Patties and shout out to the Piggy Market for supplying such a heavyweight battle.
Yeah, that was close.
That was
But
dope.
just that pastry on here though. Oh, it's so good.
And that's the thing. And you know what? You can't find a Haitian patty like at Costco or whatever. So a lot of people don't even know that it exists.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know Haitian patty exists.
Look
there you
at
go.
all
I
this
thought-
meat. Usually the store bought one doesn't have that much meat. in
Yeah,
it.
that was good.
This is good, Jet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This Jamaican one is good.
So, you know what? Now that we have, kind of chilled. Oh, Kyle's asking if I will accept Haitian patties as payment for our fantasy football league. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I hesitated. I hesitated a little bit, but nah, I take the money. Oh, man.
Dude, I
So-
see what you're saying about the spice. It's actually spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's
Good
good.
though.
Yeah, it's really good.
So, let's get into this conversation, man. Here's a topic right away. We need to get your opinion on this.
Uh-oh.
So this weekend, Terrell Owens was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay? Terrell Owens, just to put into context, he, in terms of rankings as a wide receiver, he's top 5 about in almost every conceivable category for a wide receiver. But he had to wait numerous years to get into the Hall of Fame. So once they chose to put him in, he promptly responded by saying, I'm not going to the ceremony. I'm going to go do my own ceremony, my own speech at my alma mater. What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree or disagree with what he did?
I will say this, that to each man their own, to each man their own. But I'm not going to disregard the people who went in before me because they were inducted for a reason. And how long did those people wait to get in? The thing is, only so many people will enter the Hall of Fame. And it's an honor that not every person on your block, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your city, in your state, in your region, and even in your entire country, or even in the entire world, will get the honor to put on that jacket, to don that jacket. And I feel for Terrell Owens, what he missed out on was probably one of the most impactful ceremonies ever, because each of those men that got there and spoke, from Brian Dawkins talking about his battle with depression, to Ray Lewis being the motivation that he is, talking about reality and how athletes need to continue to rise up to bring these issues to the forefront.
And kissing his kids on the mouth.
And kissing his kids. Oh, well, to each their own. But to me, I think Terrell Owens, number one, if he'd have spoke that night along with those guys, his message would not have been heard. Because to me, as powerful as all those guys who entered the hall that night were, Terrell Owens' speech would not have been remembered as would have Ray Lewis's, as would have Brian Dawkins and the Brian Urlachers, the guys who had a message. What would Terrell Owens' message truly have been? I mean, what would his message have been? Because my thing is, yeah, you didn't get in first ballot. Hey, it's all good, but you were in. And for a guy who went to Tennessee, Chattanooga, to one day be in the Hall of Fame, that's a true honor. You came from nothing to something, and it's all because of the glory of football. And yeah, I understand you're upset, but sometimes you can't win every battle. And to me, in my mind, that's one battle that couldn't be won. And yeah, you could stand up for your right. You could have went to Canton and said something about it while on stage. You could have done that.
That's true. That's very true.
But to me, the stage that would have been there for you, you did not take advantage of that stage. And that's truly how I feel. Because then the next day, he worked out for Saskatchewan. So tell me truly how much his heart was into it.
True. Very true.
But I mean, again, to each their own, right?
I like the fact that he took things in his own hands and controlled it, because there's nothing like putting your livelihood and your legacy in other people's hands. To him, like, I can only speak if I was in his shoes. I would have probably done something similar if I felt that way. How do I take back the control that I feel that I lost? And given the climate with the NFL right now, relative to players and other causes, I understand why he would potentially do that. Like, there might be a distrust between the players and the community and versus the league, and it doesn't surprise me that some people like him would do something like that, because they might feel like the league doesn't have their best interests at heart. So I'm not saying he's right, but when you feel like you got to do something, and the only person that can really do that is you, and he will pay for the consequences, whether they're positive or negative. But at least out of everybody else, he will be remembered for not doing what everybody else did at that night and what's expected, right?
I feel like what he did was, it basically was a perfect conclusion to his career. Because he was always kind of like, you know, the black sheep a little bit, extremely talented, had some issues here and there. Again, in his defense, like, it wasn't anything like criminal. It wasn't like, oh my God, like, this guy is going to get suspended for 4 games for, you know, such and such violation. But he was always on the outside looking in.
Right.
And I think he said that in his speech. So this is like a perfect conclusion to his career. Like, the Hall of Fame, they made him wait. And one of the things he said, because I listened to his speech a little bit, and he said the writers who vote them in, he felt like they did not respect like the criteria to get voted in, because the criteria based on like what you're doing, numbers, statistics, things like that, and you know, Pro Bowls and et cetera, based on just that, he should have gotten it. Mm-hmm. But he was not the most well-liked person. So his personality should have been separate from what he was doing on the field. It's very difficult to do that. But when you think about it, like let's say for example, you know, Kyle was just joking. He said another reason Randy Moss is better than Terrell Owens, straight cash, homie.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Where
he got fined and, you know, was criticized for some of the things he said. Ray Lewis was charged with murder. Yeah. Right? He was found not guilty, but he was still charged with murder. Right? And, you know, a lot of athletes that have come before him or will, you know, will come after him will not be criticized the same way he was. Right? Like, you look at Tom Brady, he does some craziness on the sideline too, and they just say, oh, he's passionate. Why isn't Terrell Owens passionate, just in a different way? Right? So it's not really fair. So, again, just to say, I think it ended perfectly. Like, that's how it should have ended. Like, not to say it should have, but I get why it ended that way, because that's who he was.
That's how he was always. Right? Yeah. Because, I mean, I notoriously remember when he did that interview with his agent, and the only thing I remember from that, the question and answer period was next question. But it wasn't him talking. He was just sitting in the back, allowing his agent to step into the light and not him. So my thing is, as long as you carried yourself that way, you were going to be treated that way.
Yep.
And my thing is, sometimes when he did a lot of the antics after he scored, it wasn't about the team. It was all about Terrell Owens. And again, yeah, I mean, he handled things the way he had to handle them, and that's his prerogative. You can do what you want to do. But my thing is, at the end of the day, you will be treated just as the person that you presented to the world. And to me, that's how he was treated in the end. Yeah. But he put himself in that position.
But that's fair.
And that's fair, yeah.
And I think he recognizes that, and that's why he created his own situation afterwards, right? But we say TL is about TL. I agree. But overall, I think we're all about ourselves. We're all selfish one way or another. I want to play for the team. I want the team to win. I'm a team player. You know why? Because that's what makes me happy. Because I'm a team guy. It's still about me as much as I project the team, right? Terrell, this is how he projects himself. So yeah, it's all about me, and I don't have to say the team. I want to make myself happy by me working hard. And someone like Terrell, just like anybody else, has to work hard to even be in the position to complain right now. Yeah. Like, you don't become one of the best receivers ever by not being good. By not being like in the gym and crafting your mastering your craft. Like one of my favorite players ever, I think he was selfish, but was Barry Sanders for cutting his career that short, right? But he'll always be remembered for being a great player.
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Only time will tell. And all these personal situations between Terrell Owens and the league, only time will tell how great people will think he is over time. Because look what happened to Ali, right? The whole country at one point wanted to see him dead, and now we celebrate his life and all the things that he stood for. But for people, like, I'm not sure if Terrell Owens will be celebrated like Ali.
Not the same way. Not the same way. Oh man!
I think I stretched that too far out.
Oh man! Staying with football players. So a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if this will get him in the Hall of Fame, but a couple of weeks ago, there was a quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh jeez.
So
Jimmy G for president.
So for a short period of time, he was actually the highest paid player in the NFL when the 49ers signed him earlier this year. He was in the news a couple of weeks ago for taking out an adult film star for a night on the town. 0 F's given, just out on the town, holding hands, the whole shebang. Now, if you're, let's say, one of your teammates or as an owner, the new face of your franchise goes out with a porn star, do you have an issue with that?
No.
There you go.
No, I have no problem with that. I mean, as long as he's a good guy,
Mm-hmm.
he represents the organization like he should.
Mm-hmm.
He's a man of the people. Definitely a man of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell him who he can date and who he can't. I mean, he's a man, but as long as he shows up to work and does exactly what we're paying him to do, I have no problems. Go ahead, Jimmy G. Yeah, man. But I know you're going to get razzed inside the locker room.
Yeah.
Let's watch film today. Oh, how did that end up there? You know that's going to happen.
Wow.
Who put that up there? Sorry about that, Jimmy.
It's like a kid going to school with his dad cutting his hair, and it's all jacked up.
You're right. You're 100% right.
That will never leave
You're
you.
100% right.
That's true, man. That's true.
You are 100% right. He's going to get razzed.
And like you said, I 100% agree. He could date whomever he wants, whenever he wants. He could do whatever. And the thing that's funny is, I was listening to an interview, and they were saying, like, guys, do you think really, like, football players were not doing this in the past? It's just now you could just slide in someone's DM and you're good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just so much. By the way, if you guys think Rob is crazy, it's because there's a fly that's driving him nuts.
Yeah.
Just in case you're wondering what's going on.
It's like the fly knows it too.
Yeah.
But you know what? If he may have fulfilled the fantasy that he wanted.
Yeah.
Let him do what he wants.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. Anyway.
I mean, he probably met her out there talking, having a good conversation. Next thing you know, he finds out it's her, and he's just like, well, shoot, she's cool as heck still. Like,
Oh, come on now. He
like
knew
Joe
who she was.
Namath. Joe Namath.
He knew who she was.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he knew who she was.
He had the whole.
He's like, I'm
rundown.
familiar with your.
I just saw you last night.
I'm familiar with your philanthropy work. Yo, Schiller's cheering for you. He's like, get it, Rob. Get it, Rob.
Weren't you a Kines major?
Oh, man.
Yeah. No,
So-
I'll try
Fly
to
drop
forget
you.
it.
The
Yeah.
fly knows you.
Oh,
Or
man.
you know that, right?
But
That's jokes.
yeah, I have no issues with that. Like, that's not my business. It's not anybody's business. But I
Yeah, he
understand
turned
the
into
question about the what does the organization think of it, right? What does that mean to the organization? I think if we give the league and the teams that much power, that's not cool either, right? Like the players' personalized gets managed by who now, right? So that means they own you all through and through. That's kind of whack. Like I don't want to gain that much money just to lose all of my freedom,
Yeah.
right? So if she's an adult star and that's not acceptable, then what's the next step? What else will they deem not acceptable, right? So like does dating a doctor the only thing acceptable at that point?
Well, she's kind of a doctor. Kind of.
For the
Hey.
cranium. For the cranium.
I think it goes back to the fact, people always say that, athletes that get up there, they make all that money, they feel that they're invincible, they can do what they want to do. I think this is another case of that than people just hating on the fact of.
I was about to say. They're like, hey, how come he gets to be with her?
Yeah, I can even be with her. People frown upon that. Now we frown upon you, Jimmy.
You know
Keep it
why?
up, Jimmy.
Athletes start
Was that a pun?
their professional careers start like at 5-6 years old. They sacrifice everything to get to the point where they can date anybody they want.
Yep.
So
That's true. That's
for
true.
the haters, forget it.
Exactly. So, next topic. Larry Nasser.
Mama.
Larry Nasser,
Oh,
okay?
jeez.
Yo,
Yeah.
I can't pick it up.
You gotta slide it off.
You
the
guys
side.
want a fork or something?
Nope. I like my stuff messy.
How's this?
Very good.
It's very good.
It looks so flaky.
Yo,
Well,
good-
you do a fork, I'll do a fork. See,
Okay,
he likes
cool.
it messy.
Okay, fine. I'll do a fork. God.
I want to make sure I'm showing good etiquette now, Jeff.
Etiquette, schmetiquette. I didn't get this big with etiquette or eating salad. I just had to bring in salad for no reason.
Yeah, bring in salad.
Salad didn't do anything to me. Oh, man.
Chet,
Yeah.
what are everybody's thoughts on these topics?
So a lot of people are saying, or they're agreeing with us. They're just saying, man, just
Thank you.
get it, Jimmy. Like, do what you want to do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Jimmy, get it on.
Yeah, Jimmy can do whatever he wants, man. Like,
Yeah, but once he stopped performing well,
Now,
you know what they're gonna say, right?
Yeah. Now that's where the problem lies.
exactly. So it gets a little tricky, but everything is forgivable if you win.
Yep.
Everything is forgivable, if you
Including
Like
murder.
Tiger says, for shizzle.
win.
The only thing that's not forgivable is taking a knee.
Bum, bum,
Bum,
bum,
bum, bum. Hey, Tim Tebow did it. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, let's put that out there.
Hmm.
That's another show.
Yeah, that's another topic.
So, Larry Nassar, okay? If you guys remember, Larry Nassar was the team doctor for the women's Olympic gymnastics team who was convicted of sexually assaulting hundreds of women, you know, over the course of years and years and years. Now, there's a story in the news that's saying he wants to be resentenced. Right? I don't know the legal justice system in the States, but he wants to be resentenced essentially because they're beating the snot out of him in prison,
Expected.
which is expected, right?
Yeah.
So this may be a very short topic. Should we feel bad for him at all? If you're talking about from a rights perspective and with the right to be protected and blah blah blah, should we feel?
No, like hundreds of women, yes, like, and that's including like young girls, right? Somebody's little daughter. You're talking about parents' lives that are like shut now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these women who potentially have families too, who will forever have to deal with these things that potentially can become mental health issues for them. So no, man, like I have no pity for that. Even if he gets resentenced and gets sent somewhere else, I still don't think he's gonna escape that. Because now he's gonna be known as the guy that tried to run away in jail, right? Nobody's gonna let that go. I don't believe in giving him that much credence.
Hey, your boy Matt Albright saying what's up.
Oh, Breezy, Basheezy, what's up, man? Off the heezy. How's Feezy?
And Kara made a great point. She said, no, prison is for rehabilitation, but also punishment.
Oh, in this case, there will be lots of rehab. And he also, I remember when I was a kid and I went to maximum prison in.
What did you do?
What?
No, we visited on a field trip.
Okay.
We visited on a field trip.
I was like, this just turned into a confessional?
No, they brought one of the prisoners who had been there a long time. And he's pretty much like Morgan Freeman and Shawshank. He had been there forever. And he said there's two things that when people enter these walls that we don't accept. Crimes against women, crimes against children. And he was like, typically the people who come in here for that never leave. And I don't need to say anything else.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
I don't need to say anything else because,
Yeah, that's messed up, man.
yeah.
But speaking of mental health issues, like I'm not trying to make it easy on him or going easy on him, but I wonder what type of mental health issues he had before he even went to jail, or to be able to become a predator like that to these unsuspecting innocent women. He must have had some messed up thing happen to him at some point to be able to victimize others as well.
But
I'm not saying I know, but
and he probably had all those issues, even going through med school, going through all those things, feeling inadequate. This was easy.
But my thing is, once he was in a position of power is when it happened.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't care what mental illness you have, you were not doing that up until you had power.
True.
And who are the people that are doing that these days? The people who have power.
But isn't that what they say? It gives people either power or money, and they'll tell you who they really
The
are.
gift and the curse.
Yeah, exactly. And Joel Martin was just saying, no, Gen Pop is for non-rapists. They don't get to suffer. Just put them in Gen Pop. Just put them in Gen Pop. You know what? I was thinking of this like once
that's
ago.
general population.
General population. Yeah. I used to always say, you know what? When my kids get older and more like aware, all I'm going to do is sit my kids in front of the television and force them to binge watch Oz. And I'm going to say, you don't act right, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to meet some dude named Out of BC. And you need to watch Oz.
Oh, you never watched Oz?
Oz, yeah, it is
You
like...
watch The Wire? Oh,
Man, where you been, man?
He's
Dang.
been a professional athlete.
Oh,
Man,
that's true.
I've been in the
He's
gym.
watching-
I'm working out. I'm drinking my milk. I'm eating. No, not getting
Oh
sugar.
man. Oh man.
I mean,
Too much
protein,
sugar.
I mean, veggies.
Look
I
at
know.
what you're
I'm
eating.
retired. I'm retired. I'm retired now, bro. I'm retired now.
Oh man. Oh man. We're taking just a quick second because Joan Cunningham just signed in just to say what's up, and she said, "I came in a little late, so what are you guys eating?" So you
What
missed the
we ate.
you missed the pat you missed the patty challenge,
Ooh.
right? But who won again? Jamaican
Our
patties or Haitian?
impartial judge, who's not Jamaican and who's not Haitian,
Heck no.
chose.
Heck no.
Yeah. Heck no.
I had never
Should
had.
we take offense to what he's saying right now?
I never
Says
had
heck
Jamaican.
no.
I never had Jamaican or Haitian patties. I had never had. All I had for I had
okay.
I had ackee and sawfish.
Yes.
I had
yes, that's on
yes.
point.
I had curry goat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had rice peas and plantain
Mm.
Okay.
and oxtail. That's all I've ever had. I've never had Asian food.
Well,
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna introduce you to Mrs. Constant. You met her.
Yeah, I met her.
Okay, well, she's gonna have to cook.
So I've
for
never
you.
had that besides from Caribbean. That's all I've mainly.
Oh,
I've
man.
eaten a lot of Dominican food, but that's
Hmm.
that's a different story.
Okay, we gotta introduce you to more Haitian food. Then.
yeah, you're gonna like it.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
patties are. Remember, the patties are just the appetizer.
Is any of it better than oxtail?
There's cow foot. If you like oxtail, you like cow foot.
You might like
This is-
guillo too, though.
Guyo's just dope.
Guillo it's like fried pork squares.
Yeah.
But you don't eat pork though.
I don't eat pork.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Pork is not
Cow's
good.
foot?
Yeah.
It-
You're traumatizing him right now.
it's bristly like oxtail.
Is that the toenail?
They took away the toenail.
I love the look on your face. You're like, did you just say
Cow foot.
cow foot? Oh, there is goat. Yeah, goat. Kabu. It's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's pretty good. But sorry, yo, we digressed. Joan, so there was the Haitian patty and the Jamaican patty, and Chef Henry hooked us up with.
No, not me. I'm not a chef.
Not this chef. Chef Henry Tavares, right? He hooked us up with a Spanish baked custard, as well as a dulce de leche, which is completely gone from my plate.
Oh yeah.
That
And
was so nice
it was
and
ridiculous.
creamy.
Oh, I
It's
gotta try
ridiculous.
this.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
y'all
good.
both ate that
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, it was gone pretty fast.
Oh, I am gonna be buzzing tonight.
And this one is the turtle cheesecake.
Oh, wow.
man. Anyway, as you're enjoying this,
Oh,
let's
God.
let's move on. We only have 2 or 3 topics left, and then that's it. Because this man's got to wake up real early tomorrow
3 in the
morning.
morning.
So we appreciate his time.
I won't go to bed till 2 in the morning because of all the sugar.
You know what? Just become one with the sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even eat sugar. So I'm over here like shaking right now.
You're gonna get home and be like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
Am I turning into a Hawk right
Yo, we
Oh,
missed
man.
one. Who is the most talented artist in the game?
We
right
just
now?
passed it because we started going on tangents.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Well, we could. Oh, one word answer. Who you think is the most talented artist in the game right now?
The guy who has the #1 song for 5 weeks.
oh, Drake.
Drake.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
The dude does. He sings. He changed the game. He got Lil Wayne as one of the most best lyricists in our time,
Mm-hmm.
trying to sing and rap like Drake. Drake is created a new genre. Nobody else right now has done that.
I agree with that.
Okay, that's true.
statement.
That's true. That's
Drake
true.
owns the game right now.
Yeah,
Did-
but just not lyrics. Like he needs
Yeah.
to leave the lyrically gifted hip hop cats alone, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
We don't want
stay
no
on-
freestyles. We don't want
Yeah,
no
no.
freestyles.
Just stay doing your thing, Drake. Just leave the on the street corner rapping with them cats. Just leave them cats alone.
You know what's crazy? I saw a news story and they said that Drake accounts for
4%
4%
of Toronto's, GDP.
income.
Yeah.
Wow. That's I don't think there's another artist who can say that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh man. Anyway, speaking of artists, what are your thoughts on LeBron James' I Promise School?
That is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're passionate about it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
man.
no,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Malcolm X has a quote that says, "A fool is a man that lets his enemies teach his children." And I love that LeBron is going back to the community and building something from there, with his fame, with his with his privilege and opportunities in creating and passing down the opportunities to other people. And I love how I don't think it's just him. I think he's the face of it, but he's using all his connects to make this happen. And the school looks so dope. It's no like rink-dink school. It's not a second-class school. It looks like a pretty high-end school. And I think he might just change the game as to what it looks like to give back and not just give a check away. Actually do something for real that's going to last, that will have real legacy. If he retires right now, or if he never wins a championship again, I think he'll be good. And just by doing that, he kind of surpasses Jordan's legacy and like personal legacy. I think he did something really, really, really good with that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that I find kind of crazy with that, like he got all the right resources. Like he's working with the Akron School Board on this project,
and I'm sure Nike's working with him too, right?
Oh, most likely, right? Because this looks good for them. So he's using his platform. He's not just shutting up and dribbling.
Amen. Preach, brother.
And what's funny is, I don't know if you guys saw the Donald Trump. I don't like talking about him.
Listen,
we like to boycott Agent Orange down south.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was a person, speaking of mental health, there was a person who tweeted out, Don Lemon just did, one of the dumbest people in news television, Don Lemon, just did a good job making LeBron James look smart, which is hard to do. I like Mike. That was the tweet.
Divide and conquer.
But you know what was funny about that? The irony I found in that. Do you guys remember the Trump University scandal?
Oh, yeah.
When he set up that fake school and then had to settle like a $25 million lawsuit?
But maybe that's what he's referring to. He's getting free money while LeBron James is giving away money.
Because he's a human being.
Yeah.
That's why.
But also, I know it was talked about how taxpayers will have to pay something towards that school, the ipromise school. And whether they do or don't, it's the kids that are benefiting. The kids that need it. And the fact that he stepped forward to provide the overhead to help put this whole thing together, the fact that now the community can come together behind this initiative and help support not only the school, but these kids' dreams who don't come from great homes, who are affected by gang activity, by poverty, by all the things that don't allow kids to reach their dreams or focus in the right direction. What other initiative would you rather get behind if you got to pay a couple bucks to see a kid who possibly wouldn't have a chance to make their dream come true, make that happen? And as the volume starts to build of kids leaving that school, going to university, they always want to come back home and reach in and grab somebody else and pull them out and pull the next person out. And that's going to turn that community from what it once used to be into something even more prosperous and greater down the road. But you know what? There's some people who are afraid of that happening.
Of course.
I'm not going to say who, but you know what I'm talking about.
That's the sad part.
I love how it came out after the fact. You know, the moves were done in silence. You know, you don't announce your plans; you just make them happen. And imagine how many people would have told him that's a bad idea. Don't do it. You won't reap anything from it. The man went out there and did the damn thing, and that's commendable. And I'll repeat it: is the benchmark is being set much higher now. Not just for athletes, but even for community work as well, and other people wanting to create initiatives like building a school. Now, even with the public school system or even private school system, they will have to compare themselves to what LeBron is doing. Right? So you got to work harder to become a minimum now, and I love that.
Well, I mean, I hope that changes the focus of some of these athletes that are making all this money because. I mean, look at the streets of Chicago. I mean, you got lots of athletes like from the Dwayne Wades to the Donovan McNabbs, and the list goes on and on of guys who were raised in the south side of Chicago and seeing all the people that were shot and injured just over one weekend. I mean, it's horrendous there, and you need these type of celebrities to come back who have an impact not only these kids, but also finding ways to not only influence these kids in one way, but to really influence them in another. And to show them that they truly care, because right now, without hope, this is the direction that people turn. So hopefully, this is set, like you said, the presidents and set the bar truly where it should be. And now instead of these athletes going out buying all these fancy cars, hopefully they can invest in something that'll really continue their legacy as far as in that right direction where it should be.
You know what's cool about that too? Like, yeah, LeBron James is a very well-known figure and has a lot of money. But I also feel like other people or regular folks who feel powerless to do these things might see him as a beacon and as an example, saying, you know what? Maybe I could do that too. Maybe I can gather some of my connects and my resources to build some sort of school or institution within the community to help it better. I think, like, I can't speak high enough of what he's doing. This is way bigger than him. Those are it's not just impact. He's creating ripples over generations to come to make this work. The only thing that can mess it up is if outside forces come and try to destroy it. And I hope that never happens, man.
But you gotta get the people to unite behind something like this, because, like I said, how many black celebrities in the sports world that are idolized by so many young men, so many young women, typically do this? Truly invest back in the community, something that's impactful to this level. I mean, you typically don't see black celebrities doing this, not on a basis like this, not in sports. So I hope it does set that precedence and set that next level for people to focus on, instead of trying to be out there acting all hard in the club, making it rain and buying bottles in the club. You know what I mean? Hopefully that's pastime, because see where it's got us? It's got us nowhere. Just spinning in circles, because no matter how many times you do it, you're still trying to make it happen the next time, where there's a lot of people who will never get that opportunity.
Well, look at it's one of our favorite albums, the Jay-Z 444 album.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas earlier in his career, he was talking about making it rain, and all that stuff, and then now he's on some grown man stuff. He's like, I buy a painting for my kids for $1 million. Then later it's worth $2 million. Then it's worth $4 million. I'm leaving a legacy for them. And you know, the paradigm should shift essentially.
You know how I think it could shift? Because of the business I'm in. I think the way it could shift is not just encouraging young black kids to get out of the hood or to get out of a bad situation. It's actually helping them create a vision for themselves that's beyond just sports. Create a vision for their whole lives, working towards something bigger than themselves. So I work with brands on a daily basis who have great products, have great customers, but who don't who are trying to figure out what they stand for. Once you figure out what you stand for, you actually feel like you have a S on your chest that you can conquer anything. If you have a bigger goal that you say, look, this is what I'm going to leave behind, not just for my kids, but as part of the human race. This is what I'm going to do. Dude, like, a lot can happen. But if the kids are just saying, I want to become a football player, a basketball player, or a rapper, just so I can have a little bit of money. Money is just a freaking tool. So we have to teach kids, and not just kids, we got to teach everybody how to use life's tools to get better, to get to where we want to be. Like, teach them purpose, and not just teach them technical sports skills. Teach them how to get to where they want to be in their lives, right? Once we do that, we'll be better off. And I think that's what LeBron has, better than most of other athletes. I think another person that has something similar, a similar vision, is Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is never just thinking about what's in front of him. He's always thinking many steps ahead. And we got to instill some of those skills. And those skills are transferable. It's not just an innate thing.
But see, the good thing with Magic, there's a disconnect between this generation and a Magic Johnson. Where now LeBron is one of them. And they're like, man, like, if this guy can do it, he's got everything. But he doesn't forget about home.
That's important.
And that's important.
So, click the like button for the conversation. We have a few interesting comments. We have Coach Alain Dubé, was my high school volleyball coach, who's tuning in.
You play volleyball? You play volleyball?
let me put it. Wait. Let me put this into perspective, okay, guys.
He just tried to slide that.
I wish we could play against him.
Look. I couldn't.
That's what that paper
no,
cut
I'm
was
no,
on his ankle.
Oh,
Vertical.
you hearing that? You brought this on yourself, man.
no. Look. I'll put it out here, okay? I couldn't bump. I couldn't set. I could just serve, hit, and block. That's it. I couldn't do anything else. So I knew what I was. When they would just hide me next to the net and they'd be like, "Don't touch the ball when it comes over
You're
the
a
net."
goon.
I'm a goon,
You're a
apparently.
goon.
But he was saying, you know, and he's in Ottawa as a teacher and a coach, and he's like, "Man, I'd love to get involved with that. Y'all got any contacts?" And I'm like, "Hey, it's the internet. Just holla at somebody. You know, see, great blocker." Not a good passer. See, I knew what I was.
Is that when he cover up the ball and hit it and just block over to somebody else?
I knew what I was. And Ty Louie, who always has interesting comments, also said, because we were saying, a lot of black athletes and and artists in general, it would be nice to see them more. And he said, well, there's a possibility that they're doing things, just the media won't show it.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
So that's interesting. And then Joel Martin was also saying, money is the language of like a capitalist world too, though.
Yeah.
Right. So, a lot of times people giving their time is a good thing, but like they give more respect to money.
Right.
So, anyway, moving forward, going from that serious topic to what could be potentially serious or go into a foolish direction. Who knows? A few months ago, there was actually a male birth control pill that passed safety tests.
Like a car.
Like a car.
Okay.
Okay?
Here.
Now, what are your thoughts on that? And, like, I guess clearly, like, between the three of us, we have 8 kids, so I don't know what we know about birth control. But anyway.
Well, y'all two need to talk about this. I got snipped, so I'm good. Like, what will y'all tell me?
Oh, man. So, if someone told you when you were, I don't know, in the early stages of a relationship, they said, you could take birth control, how would you feel about that?
I'll let Henry go first.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah. I mean,
okay.
I mean, especially now in today's world, I mean, shoot, you got people 10 to 12 years old already talking about stuff we didn't talk about till we were 18, 19 years old. Well, I know, like me, I was a late bloomer. So, but the thing is, it's like, I mean, the best way to protect your children, I mean, that's what you, I go that route. And I mean, if this is a way, if I know my children are going to be active, which I can't imagine my boy is 12 and 9 right now being like that too early. But I know at some point it's going to happen. But yeah, I want them to protect themselves. I mean, because being a parent, it's not an easy thing. And your life is, boom, chopped in half like that quickly. And, I want my kids to be better in everything that I was. I want them to achieve more than I ever achieved. And I didn't have my kids till I was 30, my first. So I want them to be able to establish their careers, and if that's one of the directions we have to go to ensure that stays that way, because I know they're going to be dating girls and stuff like that's going to happen because women look different than how they were when we grew up. There's gluten in everything.
It's the gluten. Blame it on the gluten.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I mean, I've already seen them look at each other and chuckle whenever they're pretty girl TV or walk by.
Yeah.
So, I want to make sure my kids are protected. And, I don't want to see kids having kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially in that case, I want them to achieve their dreams and be in a proper place before that happens.
Yeah.
So, what I hear from you is kids under like 20 should be drugged up. Is that it?
Well, no. If they're going to be active, heck yeah. What's wrong with that? I'd rather see them do drug like this than them other drugs.
I guess so. LeBron wouldn't be alive if that drug was around, I guess. Because his mom was young when she had him.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, I don't know if I would do it. Well, I know I wouldn't. I had a set of twins and a baby 10 months like after my other kids were born. I love children. I love the kids, and I think everybody has a chance to make the world better. Every new person has a chance to make the world better for everybody else. If the kid comes, it's my job to guide them, but they have a responsibility to the world and to themselves to make things good for them for themselves.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't take that pill. I wouldn't go that route. Maybe I'm a coward, or maybe I'm just the savior of humanity. But I wouldn't do it. It's just, I don't know. It's not a religious thing. It's not none of that. It's just I feel like if that kid is stubborn enough to want to be around, then they deserve to be around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I agree with that.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense. So we got a couple of comments here. We got,
Yo, you didn't answer, yo.
I know you
didn't answer.
You pleading the fifth?
You know what?
Fifth?
No.
Fifth.
if I'll say this, if there's like long-term studies on it, and they know that, you know, even if they take this pill, it won't affect them and their ability to have kids later. Kind of like what they had to do with women, right?
Women,
Yeah.
As long as it's like that, sure, absolutely, right. So we got a couple of comments here. We got Joel saying, "Protect your neck."
Is that what that meant?
I guess so. And
Now I'm curious.
Oh, that's all that shot in.
Oh, man.
Protect your neck.
yeah.
Oh.
And then Ty Louis said, "Gotta protect that pension." And then Chef Henry, who made those delicious desserts,
Oh,
said,
chef, thank you.
"I will tell my boys it's a vitamin and make them take it in the morning."
Another Henry.
But seriously, I didn't even think about it the way you spoke about it, about like your teenage kids.
Mhm.
I never thought about it that way. I was thinking about myself.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, my darling other half had a comment to say about this.
Oh.
She said, "Yes, please. My boys can't protect themselves against sneaky liars.
Oh.
There are some women
Thank you.
that can trap a man. More protection is great." That'll be our next topic. Yeah, great words from Henry. Some people are awful.
Yeah.
So it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I don't want them to be trapped. Shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And then, you know, it is what it is, man. We have kids change your life. That's what
Yeah.
Ella is saying. So if you're willing
For
to
the-
have the fun to make them, then you should be able to raise them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
Yeah.
know what?
Just
To me,
do it
that's
right.
very important.
Yeah.
We talked about money earlier, how money messes you up, and I believe the same thing with kids. If your situation is good, you have a kid, it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
But if your situation is jacked up, life is about to suck,
Yeah.
like big time.
Yeah. You aren't joking.
Yo,
Yeah.
Ty Louis also said, based on what you said, that would also mean that every child also has a chance to be a terrible person and drain society.
But who am I to decide that?
Protect your neck. Oh man, yo, this has been fun. We got one more. Yo, the fact that you hit over there and the fly was here is amazing. Unless there's two flies.
I know. The flies on there go like, your turn. Your turn. They tag
Yo,
you.
that's jokes, man.
Yeah, it's making me look
Oh
stupid.
man. So we were talking about trapping and kids and all that stuff. This leads us into a perfect segue of our last topic.
So I changed my mind based on this last topic.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. So Blake Griffin is a basketball player for the Detroit Pistons. I see you
Ooh.
making a face already.
Yeah, man.
So recently, a judge decided that he had to pay child support to his ex-fiancée for their two kids. One's 2 and one's 5. And the amount that was ordered to be paid
It's more than Nas.
was it more than that? That makes sense.
Nas had to pay quite a bit of money
Okay.
to police
Okay.
too.
So the number amount.
Milkshake.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all the boys to the yard, man.
Bro, all the boys to the yard.
Are those boys named Benjamin? Anyway. But the amount owed is $258,000 per month.
How?
So
Yo, a baby needs like little to survive.
I know.
A 5-year-old needs
That is
little.
horrible. How a woman can use that to earn a living off that child. Using that child as bait.
and the same his ex-fiance is also has a child with Matt Leinart. So she gets another $15K for her first kid, who's currently 12.
So 258, 250, and 15.
273 until like they start to trail off and turn 18. I would assume.
That's sad how she's making a living off these kids.
But yo,
And the money's supposed to be for the kids.
15K,
Right.
These kids don't need
and then
250K.
275 or 273K.
So
Where's this discrepancy?
Okay, so here's the thing. So how, Sway? How? What the F? Protect your neck. so you know what? I didn't even think of it. I just thought of the number. I was like, that's an astrological number. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Right? Now, what my wife said right away, this is very interesting because I spoke with my father-in-law, who is my wife's dad, and then my wife.
Are you sure?
Yes, right?
Nah.
So they had two.
I'm
no,
happy that you had
no,
to
no.
clarify that.
No, but I'm just saying.
So your answer is doctor tonight?
No, not at all. Not at all.
This is what
Not
I'm
at all,
going to say.
not at all, not
No,
at all.
boy, you're going to say this. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
I will say that. Yes, sir.
Not at all. Not at all. So no, I'm just. It's interesting. The two first questions I got from each of them. My wife, her first question was, "What was? How much does he make? And is this just not just a percentage?" Right? Like the judge is looking at it as a percentage of what he's making, not the amount, which I didn't really pay attention to. I was like, okay, what percentage? He makes, after endorsements and everything, he makes 35 mil a year. So in child support, she would make, from him, 3.1 million. So so it's about a year. So that's and he's already getting aroused because he's not getting aroused. Players are coming out and saying she's making more than me just for having kids.
Right.
And I don't want to say just for having kids. Like
Right.
I don't want women's coalition to come after me for saying that. But I didn't look at it from that perspective that it's 9% of what he's making, so it's like a drop in the bucket for him.
For now.
For him.
Now.
But chances are it adjusts. It adjusts.
You don't make 30 mil.
It adjusts.
Okay.
It adjusts. But you know what the first question my father-in-law asked? He says, "Was the judge a woman or a man?" That was the first, but he was serious. He's like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that like would affect it. I don't know if the judge is a woman or a man, but that is an interesting question to ponder for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had a daughter, and I was the judge, I would say, yo, pay that girl everything.
Yeah.
I think I would be biased that way. But if in my situation I don't have sons, I'll be more lenient towards the man, not because she deserves it or whatever. Like 275,000 is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot. Like, what's your lifestyle like?
And you know
But
what?
that's the thing, though. Like, what does she do? Like, what type of work is she
and this-
involved
She's a
in?
doctor.
No.
That's what doctors
No.
make in a year.
No.
Like, that's like the top doctors making
yeah.
it.
She had her son with Matt Leinart when they were in college.
Yeah.
When they were both at USC. So Tess is saying
Oh, that's why she's only get
15
15K.
because at the time he wasn't making that kind of dough. So Tess is saying, is it considered trapping him if they were in a long-term relationship? Different status, you know, did she really trap him? Because they were engaged. He just left her, I guess.
Dang.
But still,
Still,
$258,000 a month.
But I mean, that's supposed to be for the well-being of the child.
Yeah, because they're not together, so
They're not together.
It's not alimony.
So
Yeah.
what
And they
if-
weren't married.
Nope. They
So
were
there
not
was
married.
no agreement. There was no nuptial. I mean, what are we talking about? $258,000 for the child? Like,
But
the
what
child
if
does
he
not
takes
need
care-
$258,000.
And it depends on who has custody, I would assume. As well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what if he takes care of the kid?
Well, because the argument will be like he's a professional athlete and he'll be
What
on
does,
the road a lot.
what does that mean?
No, I'm just saying that's what she would try and argue. I'm not saying it's actual. I'm just saying that's what she would try and argue, saying that he's away for training.
What is she
Now,
gonna build
now,
a mansion?
now, Kara said that it has to be fair because the kids can't go to daddy's mansion and mommy's condo.
Why not?
That's a conversation for you and your wife to have. That has I am not getting involved with that one.
Yeah, I just don't understand how. And we talked about it, like when we talked about the men's birth control.
Yep.
That you want to make sure that your boys don't end up in that type of situation. And that's why for me, I'm trying to protect my kids.
Yeah.
Because you don't know people's true intentions until the lights come on.
Yeah. I was
mean,
gonna
honestly.
say, like, in a long-term relationship, you never know, right?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Now,
But the lawyers probably made some
Oh.
good money off of this.
Oh, you know they did.
guy, they must have made a ton.
258,000.
Are you kidding me?
And then she's gonna just be kicking back at the house like, oh, look at what I got now.
Yeah, because
And probably not working a day.
well, because I was thinking, I was like, listen, if you have your 2 kids,
Wow.
and let's say you pay a nanny $2,000, a week, or no, $2,000 a day. That's still $60K, and you're making $258,000
But
a month.
speaking of 60K,
Yeah.
around 60K or 70K is that threshold where whether you make a lot more or double that money, it does not necessarily increase your happiness levels.
Yeah.
Right.
So the money doesn't make you happier. You'll be able to spend more and hide a lot more of your grievances, but it doesn't make you happier. So
Well, Joel Martin was saying it's based on lifestyle. He has friends that got smoked on this because they make a lot. And Tess was saying that kids take at least 25% of her salary, which I've seen it too. Yeah, mostly in groceries, but whatever. It is what it is.
Man, that's tough.
And then Ty Louis asking if the amount gets amended with every contract he gets.
Well, it adjusts based on the contract. It
Yeah,
should.
it has
but
to.
but they have to check back in because I know guys who played in the NFL, made all that money, came to the CFL, and never checked back in and let them know about the adjustment.
whoa,
They were still paying the amount from their
Ouch.
contract
From
from the NFL, right?
So they were getting gouged.
So they were getting gouged.
Were they able to recoup that amount?
Eventually they were, but it was something that they should have made them aware of
Yeah.
as soon as it happened. But they waited till after the season. They were getting gouged
Jesus.
the entire time.
And Joel, you're saying who pays a nanny $2,000 a day? Well, nobody. I'm just saying, even if you wanted to pay a high-end nanny
It's still-
$2,000 a day, it would still cost you $60K a month, but you're making $258. But I do get the whole it's a percentage. If you're still making 91% of 35 million, and she's making 9, but that's like some people. They're just like, I just need that little chunk to live, and then I don't have to do anything because I don't think there's a job that she would have had that would have paid her $258,000 a month.
unless she becomes an entrepreneur. And in this case, you could probably call her an
This
entrepreneur.
is an entrepreneur.
Hey, this reminds me of a song, and we have to add it to the
Playlist?
To the playlist.
You guys should check it out.
Kanye's workout plan.
It's already on the playlist.
Yes, but the new one based on this conversation. Have you heard it?
I know, I've heard it.
It's
Thanks to Kanye's workout plan. See, I got me a baller, man. Like, it's basically...
And I'm the envy of all my friends.
Oh,
Never
man.
have to work at the club again.
Yeah.
That's how he comes out. So he teaches you how to get yourself a basketball player or a football player.
That's crazy,
Oh,
man.
man. That's
You see a lot of that these days, man.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow.
Oh. Anyway, man, you know what? We're going to wrap it up. That was the last topic. We want to get this fine young gentleman out of here because he's got to wake up early. We thank you
Hey, man.
for
Thank y'all for having
sacrificing
me
the
on,
evening.
man.
Thank you for coming.
Hey,
through,
I just hope
man.
for my Jamaican friends out there, I hope I did not upset anybody. I never had Jamaican or Haitian patties, so for me they both were good. I'd eat both, but when it came to flavor, Haitian.
They won't shoot you because they can see you're innocent, man.
Yeah, man, you were completely unbiased. Completely unbiased. So once again, shout out to Patties for making the Haitian patties. We'll
Chef Henry.
We'll put his information down there.
know
Chef
Chef
Henry
Henry
for the
was awesome,
desserts.
man.
It was delicious. It did not
Wow.
make it. And and to the piggy market, like we said, located at 400 Winston Avenue for the Jamaican patties, because as we said, they were delicious. It was just, there was a split decision. That's all it was.
I know Joel
But-
says it was biased.
You know
That's all it
what?
was.
I've never had it, Joel. I promise you that, man.
I'm not gonna
man.
front. These particular Jamaican patties were
Yeah, they were
excellent.
good.
They were
very
really good.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
really
very
good.
good.
If you guys never had those, go to the piggy market.
The piggy market. It's in
They're
Westboro.
dope.
They
It's
were
in
very
Westboro.
good.
Okay, they were
Very
delicious.
good.
And
It
shout
was
out to my
tough.
nephew at Molly Swaves. We'll give you some information when the silent auction goes. and we'll let you guys know because this is just some dope art. And just a lot of love for our guest here. We see a lot of love coming through. Thank you for tuning in to listen to Mr. Henry and the rest of the crew. There was actually a question that was asked. Someone said this is like the CFL panel, but between Rob and I, who's Jock and who's Milt?
Oh goodness! You know what?
You don't have to answer.
This is true. It's social media. Someone will dig this up.
I ain't gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
So for you guys who don't know, that's from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, Beverly Hills
Amazing,
Cop.
amazing.
Yo, I've seen that movie
I'm not gonna
like
fall
so
for
many
the banana.
times.
Well done. All right, man. So yo, click the like button one last time. Special shout out once again to Mr. Henry
Hey,
Burris
thank
for
y'all,
showing
man.
up.
Where
Thank
can we
y'all,
find
Right?
you, man?
Where can we find you?
Well,
Yes.
you can find me on any and everything at Henry Burris, everything, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And weekday mornings on CTV Morning
CTV
Live.
Morning Live. You can catch me on the weekends at CFL and TSN with the panel. And if you need to email me, henryburris1@gmail.
So,
There you
Hit
go.
me up.
All right, y'all. It's been fun. You guys take care. God bless. Peace out.
Tune in 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
oh, he just turned on, yo. The CTV just turned on.
Yeah, you
man.
saw that?
Yeah.
Boom!